Hi, Heather Sugg here with FinTech Futures. I'm at Money 2020 on site with Ronan Burke, CEO and co-founder of Inscribe. Welcome, Ronan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I thought we could dive right in and talk to me about what you're seeing right now and why fintechs are still struggling with lack of automation in KYC, KYB, and underwriting.
Yeah, so I'll split that question into two, so I'll focus on the account opening bit first. So I think on the account opening side, in particular when it comes to KYC, a lot of folks think about identity verification being primarily about, verifying the passport or driving license of a person. Mm-hmm. However, it does also extend in cases beyond that for proving, addresses and corporate ownership, and even if the business exists. And in those cases, you actually need to ask for other types of documents, such as utility bills, articles of incorporation, tax documents. And in those cases, they've just been underserved when it comes to existing solutions on the market. And because of that, that's why fintechs and financial services companies have had to set up operations teams to manually review those long tail of documents. And then on the underwriting side, when you need to prove income and revenue of a business, you frequently ask for pay stubs or bank statements. And there are solutions out there that can OCR these documents, but what we found in this case was actually that if you just OCR the data, you still need somebody to check the document to see if you can trust it. And that check for trust is actually the reason why manual review still exists in that particular case. And that's where we think it's like a very interesting insight of you need to check if you can trust the data before you try to fully automate the process. And that's where Inscribe comes in, where we have a fraud and automation platform with those two things combined and with equal attention spent on both.
Mm-hmm. Would you tell me a little bit about fintechs that are doing this today?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of the major fintechs in the United States, and some of our customers that we can talk about are Bluevine and TripActions, and TripActions recently started using Inscribe on both sides of the house, actually, so on the KYC, KYB side, but also on the account or on the underwriting as well. And they have this on their account opening side, if they have any increased risk that they've identified with their other fraud solutions, that often triggers the need to ask for further documentation, and that's where Inscribe helps. And then on the underwriting side, for determining how much credit should be approved, that's where Inscribe comes in on the underwriting side of the house as well. And they've seen huge ROIs in terms of reduction in the manual reviews that they've been previously using in their operations centers.
Very nice. And how long have they been on this?
Yeah, so Bluevine have been using us for many years at this point, and TripActions signed up a couple of quarters ago. And they're all. One of the nice things with Inscribe is the ROI is just so clear. Within the first quarter, first month of using Inscribe, you can start detecting fraud that you would have otherwise missed, and also reduce manual reviews that would otherwise cost a lot of man hours in automation.
Mm-hmm. So where did the idea come from originally for you to launch this?
Yeah, so it was actually an experience my co-founder and CTO had at a national bank back in Ireland, where they were tasked with a very similar problem, where they had a large operations center, and they were trying to digitize the onboarding of new customers for checking and savings accounts, but also new types of loans. And they were trying to automate this workflow from start to finish, but what they actually realized was that many of the off-the-shelf solutions didn't really solve all the problems that they were looking to tackle, and so they tried to build it themselves. But when they were building the solution, they realized, hey, it's not as easy as they thought it was, and so the project ended up running years over schedule and millions of dollars over budget. And that was a very obvious experience to us that, hey, there's something here. And then about a year after that, we actually started talking to founders and employees of fintechs out here in the Bay, and we thought they'd have the problem completely solved given their tech forward nature, but that just simply wasn't the case. And that was a triggering moment then of, hey, look, we need to do something about this. And we're always generally passionate about efficiency and automation, and we had background in machine learning as well, and so it was a good culmination of a lot of various different interests that catalyzed us to build a solution for it.
Mm-hmm. So one personal antidote that I know that you buried in there is your co-founder and CEO is also your twin brother. So tell me about launching your business together and what inspired you to, and how the dynamics work.
Yeah, it's one of those experiences where co-founding a business or setting up a business with anyone, it's a very kind of like long-term relationship, but also a very intense one as well. And so working with somebody that you know very well is like just a huge bonus, and it sets you up like almost like a head start, compared to any other kind of arrangement. And so, myself and Connor have been working together since we were, kids on various different projects of various different, commercial viability and various different types of projects as well. And so by the time we got onto Inscribe, it wasn't our first project, and we had a long history of collaborating and working together, and I think it's been one of our superpowers. So I feel very fortunate.
I like it, the superpower of Inscribe. We've gotten to the bottom of the story. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just I think in fintech today and in financial services, it's fraud and risk has never been more important. And at Money 2020 here this week, it's incredible seeing all the innovation that's going on. And I'd just like to give a shout out to all the fintechs and all the banks and financial services companies that are investing heavily in these products and solutions. And it's really making a difference to the ultimate end customers and businesses that actually have to interact with the financial services ecosystem. So just a very exciting place to be.
Agreed. It's been a major trend here and an essential pivot point for all the fintechs to make sure they've got handled, because regulatory and compliance standards and everything else are coming down the pipeline. And the more we can do well and do good for protecting customers and businesses and get in front of that, the better.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. It was great speaking.
Thanks for having me.